On this week's episode, Clonakilty Irish Whiskey. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. My name is Brian. This is a very special, very fancy bottle for this week. It's got a signature on it. This is signed by Paul Corbett, who is the master distiller blender for Clonakilty. This is another special bottle pick from Whiskey Mentors. This is QSO1 Queen's Jam. It is one of her first Clonakilty picks. She has 3 now. Yelled out the batch number. Original cask is bourbon, a gentle cut, whatever that means. There were only 130 bottles, which is still a lot. Cask finished in port, non-chill filtered. Now, if you don't know what Whiskey Mentors is, then you don't know who Irene Tan is. And if you would like to know more about that, follow this link. That link will take you to a Whiskey Tribe video, and believe it or not, I'm in that video, if only briefly, walking off camera. That was also the first time I was fortunate enough to meet Rex and Daniel from the Whiskey Vault in person, and the first time I actually met Irene Tan. Oh, that was cute. Whee, I got a whiff. It's a bit surprising because it's Irish whiskey. You don't usually expect to get a burst of fumes like that. And I'm excited now. There's got to be an easier way to do this. Why do I do this to myself? I just make it harder. Okay. Beauty. Don't touch the... Nope. I got it. And of course we start with the color. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Not your typical Irish whiskey color. This has a little more reddish hue to it. Almost a touch of ruby. Now, I'm not a big wine person overall, and I don't even know if I like port, but I do know I like whiskey. Begin nosing. Technique. Oh my. Unsurprisingly, this does have a jammy note, torn between strawberry and grape, of course, because those are the only 2 I really eat, now that I think about it. I do like raspberry as well, but I don't think raspberry's on here. I was going to say I'm getting an odd alcohol ding, which I didn't expect from an Irish whiskey. You're not going to see a lot of Irish whiskey at that percentage, folks. Oh, this is my first sip of whiskey today. This will be very interesting. Everything you expect from an Irish whiskey. I love the biscuit and jam note that I'm getting from this, because it's making me think of breakfast time. It's making me think of butter and wonderful scone type biscuits with lovely jam all over them, and I'm probably a little hungry right now. I got blackberry, or was that blueberry? And I am getting a metallic vanilla apple. It's got a tang of apple, man. The barrel has certainly had an impact on this whiskey. I mean, even the color just itself tells you how much of an impact there is. We're going to look at the legs just because of that proof. We're going to just take a moment to admire these legs because, holy moly, look at that. Oh, God, it's so slow. Oh, okay. I was like, why did I just get salt? That's strange. Then I remembered the front of the label. Atlantic Distillery. It's near the freaking ocean. I was mentally prepared for that. Oh, it's making me think of Sexton. Sexton is a affordable and delicious Irish whiskey, although, while it has a very interesting bottle, it's also kind of a pain to pour out of, but it's still worth it for, I think, $35 or $30 maybe. I would recommend that as an Irish whiskey to anyone who's just curious, and that one's 40%. Unlike this, I don't know what's about to happen to me. I want pancakes. God damn it. I'm not getting any grain notes. Maybe a little bit of malt, but no funk. It's very pleasant. I mean, what else can I say about an Irene Tan pick? Charles. Wow, that felt weird. Humana. Spicy. Ha. Oh. Hui. That's the good stuff. And if a 40% Irish whiskey can do something to me on the first sip. Oh. Oh, man. If you're wondering why I bother to tell people in my videos that, ow, it burns down here, one, that just explains my layout's a little weird. But with a lot of beginner whiskey drinkers, it's, oh my God, what's happening in here? Oh my God, what's happening in here? And then, oh my God, what's happening down here? You have to get used to the fact there's going to be a bit of an alcohol burn, especially on something this high proof. In truth, holding it in my palate, even though it does tingle a bit, it makes it much easier for me to drink. All right, shall we begin the analysis? I'm going to hold it on my tongue briefly, think about it for a little bit, see what happens. First sip is always just to acclimate. Oh, that's super spicy. Wow, peppery notes galore. I was not ready for high proof tonight. I know I wasn't. I picked this one at random. I was like, oh, the texture's really nice. It's silky. It's buttery. Oh. Still a bit much, but again, I didn't have myself mentally prepared when I started this video. Sugar cookies. Of course, I'm thinking of sugar cookies. There's vanilla sweetness. There's a little bit of fruit, but I think it's just a little too high proof for me right now to actually get any of the subtle details. Oh, the prickliness is nice. It's kind of cinnamon spice or brown sugar. Baking spices. All the baking spices plus vanilla. Not so much the fruit. The nose has got that numerous jammy fruit notes. The palate is more spice forward and vanilla. Texture's pretty good though. I'm enjoying that. And what's funny is holding it on the palate longer than I even normally would, I felt like I was getting more out of it overall, and it wasn't doing anything crazy. Like, oh god, it was just complex. I had lemon zest and a bit of salt. Again, which is not expected out of any kind of Irish whiskey I've had. And I'm fairly certain it's just something in my head because I read the logo. You know, Atlantic Distillery, it's next to the ocean. It's similar to what's happened with Jefferson's Oceans. I get a salt note off that, and I know it traversed the ocean quite a bit. It's reminding me of Redbreast 27 a little bit with the amount of complexity that's added to it. And I don't have any direct tasting notes for this, since it is a specific pick. Also, remember, a fancy name on the side. Firstly, it's a product of Ireland, which should be obvious. Clonakilty whiskey is non-chill filtered, distilled in Ireland, and finished at our Atlantic Ocean warehouse. Perched high on a cliff, it is here that we harness the purity of our land and sea to craft spirits that feed the soul.
Feed my soul.
Something else of note that I want to point out to you about Clonakilty is they do a lot of barrel finish stuff. For example, this was donated by Mama KillCo a while back. Revival Brewing Co. You Thirsty IPA. This is a local Rhode Island brewery, and they managed to get this whiskey finished in their beer barrels. And I mean, just at a glance, well, that looks weird. Hey. You can tell the color is a whole different thing. I have no idea how this one tastes. It's not opened. We gotta make another video. Oh no! Oh dear. More whiskey. So that says a lot about it to me. It says a lot about the company, the distillery, is that they are willing to do different things and work with different people, and I think that's fun. I like the idea that you can just take an Irish whiskey and do something to it and just see what happens. And what I'm gonna do with this is add some water, because again, this is very high proof. Just to 1, 2 to start with. If I did that right, it should take it down to around 55-ish%. I have no idea, but we'll keep going bit by bit, see what happens. Nose didn't seem to change much. Might have tamped down the fruit notes a little, brought out more citrus. Oh, still spicy. Brought out a little more vanilla. It's like brown sugar, cinnamon spice, tongue tingles, as I've been calling them for a while now. So it is still drinking a little hot, but nothing unbearable. I'm still not getting those fruit notes I want. That's what I want. The nose is lovely. The palate is good. It still drinks like an Irish whiskey, a high proof Irish whiskey, which I do not have a lot of experience with. Unfortunately, that'll change. If anyone knows where I can get a blue spot, just email me. It does have a silky texture. It isn't as rich and creamy as I want, and that is something I generally find off bourbons more than Irish whiskey. But I do like it. It's nice. It's a nice change of pace. It's a whole different thing. 2 more drops of water. And if you're wondering, is this distilled water? No, it's just tap water. Leave me alone. Distilled water isn't exactly high up on the list of things I feel I should buy right now. However, I do enjoy adding water to my whiskey when it's high proof just to see what happens. This is kind of fun. It's like science experiment stuff. Love it. Unfortunately, I also like the part where things explode in science experiments. So thanks, Bill Nye. It's more vanilla forward still. That is unfortunate. The fruit notes have been tamped out. Still there, but it's more in the background rather than the front leading as it was before. Ooh. Ooh. How the hell did that happen? Somehow it seemed creamier, and it had a raspberry note. For a moment, I feel as if it made me think of a creme brulee, but that isn't quite right. That wasn't it. So here's the thing. I've talked on my channel numerous times that I don't always experience a direct taste memory. A lot of it is visual, honestly, because it's often a place or a thing rather than an actual taste sensation. In this moment, though, it got very close to me thinking about my favorite dessert, which is creme brulee. That wasn't it. and my brain immediately jumped over to something else. Something called panna cotta? I don't even know if I've ever had panna, but it is a cream gelatin type dessert that usually has fruits on it. That is what I thought on this 4 drops of water sip. And for me at least, that certainly nails the name of this bottle, which is again, the Queen's Jam. And that certainly seems like a queenly dessert to have. As per usual, Irene Tan's picks are astounding. Just the fact that there is an Irish whiskey she managed to get at this high a percentage. Now, there are 2 other bottles that she's picked out of Clonakilty, and I know I've had them as samples. One of them I preferred more than the others, but I can't tell you which one it is, because I only have this 1 bottle. I suppose I have to go buy more. Oh well. There you have it, folks. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.